Are you having trouble with the turn? I'm going to give you one of my favorite turn drills to help you pole vault higher. Welcome to the Pole Vault vlog. My name is Shawn Francis, and today we're going to talk everything pole vault. This video is from a small section of Chapter 8 of my book and the video series, The Pole Vault Toolbox. Both are available at team-hoot.com. Now it's our turn to learn some pole flinging. I see what you did there, and I didn't like it. All right, let's get going. Chapter 8 is all about the turn. This is by far the most controversial thing I've put in the book. In the way I look at the order of operations, the turn comes before the invert. In a lot of other ways, the invert comes before the turn. There are two reasons for this. The first is the swing, the turn, and the invert all work together, and there's a lot of gray area in when one starts, and every vaulter does it a little bit differently. I'd argue that the swing is first. Obviously, you take off and the swing happens, and the invert and the turn, there's a lot of blur, there's a lot of gray. What comes first? When does the invert actually start in the swing? Is it right when the foot gets above the hips or when the hips get above the shoulders? You see what I'm saying? What I have found as a coach and as a vaulter, because I used to turn really late, is when a vaulter thinks about the turn earlier in the progression, like before the invert, they seem to be in better positions and are able to stay tighter to the pole. If they think about swinging and then inverting and then the turn, they usually get to the invert, the pole uncoils, and then the turn never happens, and then they go over the bar backwards or they smash into the bar. So that's why I put the turn first. The second reason is the turn is one of the hardest things to coach in all of pole vault, even harder than inverting. What do I do with my hands? What do I do with my legs? Do I turn my knee into the bar? What do I do? How do I turn? I don't know how to turn. So Caroline White taught me that she coaches the turn first. That way down the road, when you're teaching the invert, when you're teaching the swing, when you're teaching the rest of the components of the vault, the athlete already knows how to turn and you don't have to worry about it. It just shows up when you start coaching the invert. Now the goal of the turn is to stay as tight as you can to the pole while putting your body into position to go over the crossbar belly first so you can throw your legs under the bar. Pole. These are our legs. We want to turn into the pole, be tight with it, so then when we come off the crossbar, we can hike. So this drill works really great if you're indoors on a basketball court, something slippery where you can slide. Sometimes I put a towel down that vaulters can lay on, and then you put the pole against a wall. If you're outside or have a car dolly, that also works too. Or a big board with wheels. Sometimes you can take a couple skateboards and put a board on top. Something like that. Just be creative. Those all work great. I decided to show you the hardest way possible to do this because that's all we had. Our dolly didn't slide on the track very well, and we're not inside, so we had some foam rollers and a board, so we made it work. It's not that it's hard, it's just a pain to reset up every time and get a vaulter on top. If you have more than one person, maybe it's a little bit easier.
That's the dolly drill.
So there you be. That's one drill I like to use to help with the turn. If you want some more drills, the book and the video series has a ton of them, and they should get you turning like a screwdriver, a windmill, a porcupine in a washing machine, a proctologist's finger. Too far. Guys, remember, there is more than one way to pole vault, and I will see you next time.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down.